Alright guys, Frank Small Mechanic back with another one. We got here a 2011 Mazda 3 and we will be replacing the valve cover gasket and spark plugs on this. Start off by removing this cover here. It's on a couple grommets. Just lift up on it. Just like that. Just set it off to the side. Next thing you want to do is remove your dipstick. Set that off to the side. Unplug this cam sensor here. Squeeze the tab. Pull out. And next you want to use a cat claw tool and then pry this, and this harness up. And then disconnect this here. There's like a little VVT solenoid. Squeeze the tab inward and then just pull it out like that. So let's go ahead and take these off and we'll be right back. All right, so after you get those little clips off, they will break, so just cut them off with some angle cutters. So you got one up here, the two that were up here, and then you got one right here. See how they just break off? It'll be all right, nothing will happen. Next step is to remove these two here that hold the plastic cover grommet. Take them off like that. They're 15 millimeters, and the bolt for the ignition coil will come out with it. So just remember where they go, on cylinder 2 and cylinder 4. They're the same. After that, you can remove the bolt for the ignition coil on 3 and 1. Also, those are 8. And then you can just disconnect your coils. Squeeze the little tab and pull. Let's do this one. Some are kind of hard. Let's see, we can just pull the coil out. There we go. So let's go ahead and take these bolts off for the ignition coils, and then we'll do all of these around. They're all 8 millimeter all around the valve cover. Also remove this hose here. Get it out of the way. More bolts in the back, and we'll be right back. All right, I do want to note that there's 2 more bolts here in the middle. One right there and one right there. They're also 8 millimeters. And then remove this harness from there. Just use your cat claw tool, pull it back. And then to get to this last bolt right here on the side, you want to remove a 10 millimeter nut. That's right there. And then where's that other bolt? Right there. Down there is a 10 millimeter bolt. Remove those two. And then just lift up the bracket, and then you can expose that last valve cover 8 millimeter bolt. With that all out of the way, you can remove your valve cover. Just move the harnesses off to the side like that. There's enough space, and it'll look something like this. I already went ahead and cleaned all the mating surfaces, so clean all around. Make sure you get the little blobs of RTV that are on there. Use a little razor blade and a flathead screwdriver. Make sure you clean these as well. And then we can go ahead and swap out the gasket on the old valve cover and install. So let's go ahead and do that now. All right, new gasket installed is gonna look like this. Make sure it's seated properly, and then now would be a pretty good time to change your spark plugs. There's 4 of them, so we're gonna go ahead and do that before I install this valve cover back. For the spark plugs, just get a 5/8 spark plug socket with a 6" 3/8 extension. You can do this all by hand. Got 1, 2, that's 3, and 4. You could just go ahead and pull those out. You see, there's a little bit of oil already seeping through the gasket that seals here. Go ahead and install your new ones. Get them nice and tight by hand. Don't use an impact. So let's get the new one installed, and we'll be right back and install that valve cover. All right, once you have your spark plugs installed and tightened down by hand, you can go ahead and sit your valve cover with the new gasket back on and start doing all the steps in reverse. Pretty easy, straightforward job. Good luck, and on to the next one. For the bolts on the valve cover, you know it'll crank on them so hard, you will feel them bottom out. Make sure all of them are nice and tight. And that's it.